Hi guys, how are you today? Welcome to your English class. My name is Perla. I hope you enjoy and you learn a lot. Remember that you have to take notes about this topic, and if you have any question, please write it and let me know through the virtual class. Today we are going to have a special class because it's going to be a review from Unit 7. The title of this unit is How Adventurous Are You? And we learned many things. For example, we learned extreme sports vocabulary, adjectives with ed and ing. We also learned about modal verbs, for example, may, might, can, could, and must. Also would. So today we are going to have a review because we are going to have a quiz. Before to explain, I'm going to ask you that you have to answer this exercise. You have to answer exercise number 1 in your notebook. You have to look at the picture and you have to write the correct name of this sport. For example, you are going to write activity number 1 and you are going to write the name of this sport, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. And then we are going to check during the virtual class. You have to answer and we are going to check during the virtual class. Then you are going to answer activity number 2, in which you have to read and circle the correct option. You are going to write in your notebook activity number 2. You are going to write 1 dot and you are going to write the correct answer. It's not necessary that you copy the whole sentences, just the answer. And then you are going to answer also exercise number 3, in which you are going to complete the sentences using the words from activity number 2. And in activity number 4, you have to read and correct the sentences. You have to find the mistake here and you have to correct. In this exercise, you have to write the whole sentences. And finally, in exercise number 5, you have to look and write the questions using would. Yes, you have to create a question using would and you are going to answer about you. So now we are going to start with the review. In this unit, we learn about adjectives that end with ed and ing. Remember that the adjectives that end with ing, we are going to use to describe the characteristic of a person, a thing, or a place. For example, it's amazing, it's interesting, it's tiring. So we are going to use ing to talk about the characteristic of a thing or a person. And we are going to use adjectives that end with ed to talk about how people feel about something. For example, I was very bored in the math lesson. I was surprised to see Helen. So in both cases, we use the adjective with ed because we are talking about how I feel about something. And we also have this example. Is he bored and is he boring? You know now the difference. In the first one, we have the same adjective, bored and boring, but with different ending. And we are going to use the ending with ed to talk about feelings, and we are going to use ing to talk about how the characteristic of a person, of a thing. He feels bored and he is boring. Yes, is a characteristic of him. And also we learn the extreme sport vocabulary. We learn rock climbing, kite surfing, snowboarding, mountain biking, skydiving, white water rafting, and we also learn about the modal verbs. that also are called auxiliary verbs. We learn about may, might, could, can, would, and must. First, we are going to review the structure for these modal verbs. Remember that for all, we are going to apply the same structure. We have subject plus modal verb plus verb in the base form. For negative, we have subject plus modal verb plus not plus the verb in the base form. And for questions, we are going to write first the modal verb, then we are going to write the subject, and then we are going to write the verb in the base form. And also we have to write at the end of the sentence the question mark. For example, may I help you? Can I have another piece of cake, please? Would you like to come with us? So in these three examples, we write at the beginning the modal verb. Then write the subject, and then we are going to write the verb in the base form. Help, have, like, and at the end we are going to write question mark. So we are going to use the same structure for all the modal verbs. We learn the use of can and could, and we also know the difference between these two modal verbs. So I create this chart in which you can notice and you can compare these two modal verbs. We have can and we have could. Both we are going to use to talk about a general ability. But the difference is that can we are going to use in present and could we are going to use in past. So can, for example, I can speak Spanish. I could play the piano when I was younger. So can and could we are going to use to talk about a general ability, but the difference is that can is in present and could is in past. We also use can and could to ask for permission. And the difference is that we are going to use can for informal and we are going to use could for more polite. For example, can I borrow your pen, please? Sounds informal. And the next one, could I use your bathroom, please? Sounds more polite. So we are going to use can and could to ask for permission, but can informal and could more polite. We also use can and could to request something. The difference is the same. Can is informal and could is more polite. For example, can you help me please? And could you pass me the salt please? We are going to use could to sounds more polite and can is more informal. Can and could also we are going to use to express a possibility. The first one is in present, can, and the could we are going to use to express a possibility but in the past. For example, using can. It can get very cold there at night. Is a possibility. And a possibility in the past using could, we are going to say, what? You could have broken your leg. Yes? Okay. We are going to use can to offer to help to someone. For example, can I carry your bags for you? And we are going to use can't in negative to talk about something that is not allowed. For example, you can smoke in this room and you can go to the party. And we are going to use could to make a suggestion. We could go to the movies if you like, or as a conditional of can, will be able to. If we have some orange, I could make you some French juice. So we are going to use could to make a suggestion or conditional of can, and can to offer help, or to in negative to say something that is not allowed. So now we are going to review the use of may and might. Those two are also modal verbs. May and might we are going to use to express a possibility. And it's the same and it's more common is in the spoken English, the use of might. May means the 70% of the chance and might means the 40% of the chance. For example, sorry, it might rain later, so take an umbrella. And we are going to use may only for give permission, ask for permission, express wishes, and speculate about the past actions. For example, to give permission using may, we are going to say, you may have another cookie if you like. Ask for permission using may, we are going to say, may I borrow your pen, please? Or to express wishes, we are going to say, may the new year bring your happiness. To speculate about the past actions, we are going to use may. And for example, she is late, she may have missed her plane. So remember, may and might we are going to use to talk about a possibility. And we are going to use only may for give permission, ask permission, express wishes, and speculate about the past actions. We also learned about the modal verb must. We are going to use must to express an obligation, to emphasize the necessity of something, deduction, expresses positive logical assumptions, and also we are going to use must to give a strong recommendation. And the last one modal verb that we saw in this unit is would. We are going to use would to talk about an imaginary or unreal situation. And also we are going to use would to polite request. Would you open the window? Would you open the door? The structure is the same. We are going to write subject plus would plus the verb in base form. Remember, the would we are going to pronounce would without O and L. I would play, I would like. In negative, we are going to add just the word not. I would not or I wouldn't play, I wouldn't like. And for questions, we are going to write first the would, then subject, and then the verb in base form, and also the question mark. Would you eat a bug? Yes, I would. No, I wouldn't. And the last one, we are going to talk about present perfect with never. So we are going to use present perfect in never to emphasize that an experience has not happened at any time in the past. For example, I have never eaten a book. You have never learned French. He has never traveled to Europe. She has never lived in London. It has never drunk alcohol. We have never seen a horror movie. Yes, so we are going to use a present perfect in combination with never to talk about, to emphasize or to talk about an experience that has not happened at any time in the past. So that's it for today. It's a review from Unit 7 because we are going to have a quiz from this unit. And also remember that you have homework. The homework is that you have to, sorry, I forget. You have to answer the exercises in your notebook. Remember that you just have to write the answer, not the whole, does not copy the whole sentences. If you have any question or any doubt, please let me know through the virtual class and don't forget to do your homework because we are going to check it. Thank you so much and bye-bye.